One, and now it's going live. YouTube Gaming's a little strange that way. Come on, hurry up and go live, and it's live. Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I'm playing a little competitive Overwatch, but I am not alone. I have a dog here in the background, and here in the comms, but not in the game, we have Choco the Chocobo.
My name is Ozzy.
Oh, your name is Ozzy. You're talking from back here on the couch.
I am possessed by the dog.
I like how you speak directly to the stream like that, even though your lips don't move. But yeah, Choco is in comms today, just hanging out. I'm doing a little bit of YOLO solo queue, and
believe it or not, guys, sometimes YouTubers just like to play games and have fun with their friends. Man, it's tough.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the curious questions as to why Choco's in the comms, not the chat. The shortest version possible is that, how do we say this? I am not feeling super well. I have had a slight medication change, and I know I've been grumpa-lumping around, so I'm trying to not do competitive with my friends because I don't want to be an asshole. So I'm just, I'm a solo bird today.
We'll convince him.
Yeah, you'll convince me to just give in to the asshole and just let it flow.
I mean, I kind of start off on that default setting, so I mean, I don't know, man.
Nah, I don't think you're an ass. The dog doesn't either. No, I still remember we were playing. I don't even think we were streaming. We were playing, and some guy says, "You sound like my dad," and you tell him, "I am your dad," and he's like, "No shit," and you're like, "Shut up, son. You know your mother doesn't like it when you curse."
I mean, I think every dad has a little bit of that in them, you know? Just at least a little bit. They clear a minimum.
Got it. So I'm going to say hello to some people in my chat. Hello, Killer Cam. Hello, Matthew. Hello, Kyle. Hello, Millennium. Patrick Green. And we have Coley Thomas. Oh, we got some people in comms here. Hello. I'm not going to talk to them
How
too
you guys
much,
doing?
Did you say hi to yourself like 6 times?
Oh, that's fine, man.
Oh, no worries. It's kind of strange that I'm here with 5 people on mic and you're in comms, and I'm not trying to talk over everybody. Hello, Captain J and Mr. Thiago. Choco, are you streaming tonight? Or I saw you were in a competitive game. Or are you just playing?
I'm playing to lose rank.
Why?
I mean, okay. Let me rephrase. I'm playing to practice on people that I don't normally play, so I can kind of just have a little bit more fun with the game and all that good stuff. Because unfortunately, the Overwatch is just like a bunch of other games, is way more fun with friends, and it is not nearly as fun whenever you're a single Pringle that just wants to mingle. So
that can be true. I don't know. I have an okay time with it, just playing solo or single Pringle as you say it. But it definitely can get frustrating how we have, I ended up on a team the other day. That's why I lost like 300 elo. I've had this great spree of like attack Torbs and attack Hanzos and attack Bastions all on the same team. So Mr. Thiago wants to know why I don't play Arc with Choco. Probably because I just don't play much Arc in general. I don't know, it's not my game, you know?
Drifty is a very busy man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Arc is pretty time-consuming. I don't know.
I just already got pummeled by Pharah. I don't know much about Arc. I know that there are dinosaurs in it, right?
It's a survival game that has dinosaurs.
Okay.
The major game mechanic in there is that you basically pick up AI teammates in the shape of dinosaurs, and that's the draw.
I thought you tamed the dinosaurs, or is that
exactly? So you tame dinosaurs, and they kind of help you do whatever kind of nonsense and evil you're up to, and so on and so forth. But it's an interesting game. I definitely do enjoy it. I definitely think it is a game that is not for everyone. It is a lot of time if you're playing it on vanilla, especially. Vanilla settings can be kind of rough.
Okay, but it's like Minecraft in the sense that you can get a lot of custom servers and stuff like that, right?
Yes. So the big flavor of the month thing is this Pokemon mod ? I don't know if you can call it a mod, but it's yeah, that's the big thing right now. Is everyone's really excited about the Pokemon mod.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I mean, I remember after Pokemon Go came out, like Pokemon anything was like all the rage, basically.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I think what a lot of people like is that the 3D models they look super high quality. Like they look like little figurines almost that are just like alive, and it just looks really cool.
At PAX they had this like life-size dinosaur I could get on ride around, and I didn't play Ark at all, and it was so awkward. It was like, hey, can I skip the line to ride your dinosaur even though I've never played your game before?
I mean, I think that's the whole point, right? They want people who haven't played the game to be interested, to be like, hey, come here, come to the dock side. We love your we love your community contributions. Because you know Ark's whole big thing, right? The thing that they got a lot of flack for from the community.
No, honest to God, I don't.
They released DLC and their main game is still considered early access. So
okay, well. See, that's the thing that's going on right now. Every game is like that.
No, but it's like a full expansion pack. So they sold 2 separate games. Ark and then Ark Scorched Earth, which was a completely different map. And people are like, why are you releasing this big map as DLC whenever you haven't completed your core game? And people got really butthurt about it. I'm not saying it's justified. I'm just saying that's what the community was all up in arms about for a while. And Wildcard had to kind of appease them for a while, and you know, give them promos and whatever else.
That makes sense. Well, all the games are like that. Now, I don't like it, but that's reality. Like, I was playing Dreadnought. Dreadnought's in fucking like just hit public beta, and they're already selling premium memberships and stuff. I just got a donation from the Brown Shark, so I'm gonna go hide in this corner and tab over to my donation page really quick.
Top hook.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that I can see what the Brown Shark had to say. Hopefully my team doesn't die in the meantime. Brown Shark says, what up, Brad? Long time no see. Nursing school as busy as can be. Yes, nursing school is incredibly busy. And if you haven't been on the streams because of nursing school, that I understand. Says, wanted to say hello and hear your take on Tana iDubbbz thing. P.S. Sorry if you haven't already been asked. I can't really see all of your stream. Okay, Choco, perhaps you can fill me in on what that is, because I really don't know what the...
I thought that was a referral to Infinite Warfare for a really long time, and then I learned that it wasn't.
What is iDubbbz? What is Tana iDubbbz? Maybe somebody in the chat.
Apparently it's a stream, or no, it's a YouTuber, and there was a whole bunch of drama kicked up between these two. It's just YouTube drama stuff apparently, but the guy calls people out, I think, on his channel. I'm not particularly keen on it.
Oh wait, it's iDubbbz, the content.
The content, right? Yeah, the content cop guy.
Okay.
And so he calls out this girl who I think embellishes a little bit much on some of the things that she says, and it leads to some kind of interesting things about people being like, "Oh, we've revealed your true nature. Now we will never be able to summon Blue Eyes White Dragon." And it's just silly. I don't know. It's just YouTube drama. I don't personally think it's really worth anybody's time, to be honest.
Okay, well that's... Glad to get your opinion on it, because I have FT at Tana. I have a lot of people in the chat saying it's just drama channel nonsense. That's not really what I'm about, so...
Unless you're talking about Miss Cleo. Brad feels very strongly about Miss Cleo.
Yes,
I just watched my hook go straight through a tracer.
It's unfortunate what happened to her.
I understand.
What? Something happened to her?
Yeah, she's dead, man.
What?
Yeah, Miss Cleo's been dead.
Yo,
but
that's
no,
dark
not more
as
than
fudge.
that. She had a, she had a, let's say, a rough living situation for a long time. She only got like $50 for all those commercials, or just it was a very small amount of money for all of them. And then on top of all that, she ended up being sued as the face of the company for all that crap.
I've got you in my sight.
Wow. Here.
Was it because she couldn't see into the future for realsies?
I think it was basically, yeah, that it was false advertising or something like that. And it was kind of a big mess. I think it's kind of like, you know, when you do a lawsuit, you file like 15 different plaintiffs. MSK just re-sponsored. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You've been here with me for a long time. Oh, man, Farah. What else? I'm trying to keep all of my facts straight, because I know people will take this sort of thing as the gospel true. Yeah, she had that happening. And then she had issues because she was Catholic and her family did not approve of her being a TV commercial psychic.
I can imagine the amount of crushing Catholic guilt was increased by at least 10 times that day. By at least 10 times.
Yeah, so apparently you know about that Catholic situation.
It's fucking laser dyke.
Somebody in the game just called Zarya a laser dyke, which is interesting.
That Zarya never died.
And yeah, she kind of had a rough spill. You'd think that like Miss Cleo would be famous or whatever, but she was just an actor. I don't even think she was Jamaican, and she just got the brunt of all the anger over the people that thought that telepsychics were real, I suppose.
You mean they can sense the spirits to the phone? I thought this was ancient technology.
No? I thought they didn't do spirit readings, did they? I thought they just did tell you your future and your horoscope, more or less. The spirit readings, that was the John Edward thing. I'm talking to somebody whose name starts with a G. Is it your grandpa? You know,
Reinhardt would be really good.
It's. Can you give me a little bit more hints? Yeah, sure. These.
Because this obviously isn't working.
Oh, don't spawn. 20 questions time. All right. It's your girlfriend? No. Grandma? No. George? Yes.
It's working. You just fine.
Yeah, something like that.
Ooh, you got a new sponsor.
I did.
Miss
Well, that's not a new sponsor. He's been with me since we were doing Knights of Bronzoni on Twitch. That's a nice re-sponsor, resub, which is crazy. I still have people that stay subscribed on Twitch to support, even though I no longer stream on Twitch very often.
How's their bubble last 10 minutes?
I've been ulted by Zarya like 3 times.
When I play Symmetra, or whatever it is, it lasts like 5 seconds.
Right, there's a very
lasts
good
like 30
song
minutes for.
that, accurately depicts my relationship.
How do you get a 30-minute bubble?
Time in terms of what I watch. Let me see if I can. Oh wait, but copyright.
I actually decided to do the bad guy thing and leave group chat because I couldn't hear anything. So we were talking over each other. I'm such a great teammate.
Listen, you just gotta know that you got a friend in me. I can help feed. I mean, what?
Yes, you can help feed. I am very aware of that skill of yours.
Hey, listen here. There were a lot of starving children that needed our help.
What are you talking? Oh, sorry. Ooh, potato mode, man. Yay, medication.
I'm pretty sure that's Boomy's job, isn't it? I still am convinced Boomy is secretly a loaf of bread that just transforms into a dog from time to time.
You have not seen the Boomy. Like, a Big Bad John 69, you do indeed get a shout out for your birthday. Happy birthday. I have some stuff here. Yeti Games is talking about his mom's name starts with an M, #horoscope. MSK says, yeah, I'm old. Mr. Thiago says his pet rock died. Well, having Boomy is kind of like having a pet rock. It's not very different, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, I think we need a second tank here. So are you watching from the stream perspective, or are you, like, spectating in the game here?
I am just
you're playing,
watching the stream. No, I got out of my match, man.
Okay, wow. I've got your full undivided attention then.
What can I say? That handsome hair, I can't help myself.
Russell Jensen says, I've never sponsored a YouTuber before. What benefits do I get from this? If I'm not mistaken, you should not get any in-stream ads should I choose to do those, but in my case, I don't do those. You get, your name is green in the chat, and you have the little yin-yang emote so that I can see it and give your text or message some sort of special attention. I know that there are more features coming. You have the option to send me sponsored messages, and I can message you, I think. What's coming for you in the near future is when Drifter Mobile launches, I'm going to try to get all my sponsors in on the alpha test as early as possible, so that should be nice, which hopefully will be Monday. I don't know if I can do the mass message to everybody, or if I'll just be typing out one for each 100 or so people, but either way, you guys will be getting first access. Miss Lucio is sitting in the air.
Don't you also get to write a little message whenever you first sponsor, so you can, like... Is that a thing?
No, I think that's more for donations. There's a lot of things you can do, but...
Hello, chat. I'm just totally creeping on you. Hello, how are you all doing? Oh, that's right! Okay, Drifty, I know that you're super pumped about Lego Batman and everything.
Yeah?
But man, those ads need to chill on the previews. Like,
What are you talking about?
we went to go see Resident Evil today, and I watched it, and there was a solid maybe 15 minutes of Lego Batman trivia previews, everything.
I'm
And
not.
I was
yeah,
like,
so I don't watch any of that stuff. Like,
oh my gosh, it was incredible. I was like, man, I feel like I've seen this trivia question before, and it just constantly kept on talking about Lego Batman. I was like, man, I'm getting pumped for this movie, and the only thing I know about is that Drifter's pumped for this movie. I was like, huh. And they did have a funny joke in there. Have you seen it yet?
I have not. Well, I mean, it just came out, literally. So
Yeah.
I've not seen it. I just got another donation from Marcos, which it's a little bit chaotic here, so I cannot read at the moment. I'm trying to just get this to the point.
Hello, hello, hello.
But no, I do agree that like movie trailers and previews are just kind of out of control. I swear they will pretty much play the whole movie before I even get a chance to see it. Like I can like what was the worst I think was that movie with Chloe, what's her face, Hit Girl. Like they showed she had some alien movie or whatever. They showed like the whole thing before it even really came out.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, there are a couple of movies where they spoil all the good moments because that's the only good scenes they have in the movie. It's pretty bad.
You see that more often with comedies. Russell Jensen says, "What's Drifter Mobile?" Okay. Choco, do you have a minute to spare here while I give my new business idea spiel to everybody?
I'm pumped. It sounds cool.
Okay, so I talked about it a little bit yesterday in J-Hub stream. The short version is I'm trying to start my own mobile network, and the long version is I'm trying to start my own mobile network in the US, where that's just not very common and challenging. What we're gonna... Oh, shit.
That's not included in the mobile app. There is no
the
proof in
shit's
the
not
mobile app.
included in the mobile app. I just got a little chaotic here. What we're going to be doing is EU-style SIM card access for the US. So it'll be no contracts. You literally just get a SIM card and put it in your phone and you're good to go. And by no contracts, it'll operate more like a US prepaid. You just pay and top it up or whatever. Unlimited calls, unlimited text, unlimited data, and I really do mean actual unlimited and not unlimited PM. The data's 4G LTE. Up to 26 gigs is the soft cap. It's pitched as truly unlimited, but if we have super users go over 26 gigs, then we will actually restrict it a little bit, because that's kind of insane. We'll drop you down to 3G if you break 26 gigs.
If you go outside of the realm of reason, that's whenever we have to restrict you.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, it's not even that, that's like a guaranteed, but it's just based on network capacity. Like, sorry, I'm trying to kill all these people here. Like, if the network's doing fine, you can go well over 26 gigs and nobody gives a shit. But if we're struggling and we have to choose somebody, it's going to be people that have gone way overboard. So that's how it is. Let's see, what else is it going to be? I think the price, we're doing a flat $60 a month, just flat per access. One plan to start with. And alpha and beta users, which alpha comes up soon, are just going to be getting like flat percentages off forever, just like a lifetime thing. So like if you put in your time to help me alpha test this, I'm going to get you like 10, 15, 20% off like for life, basically.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's the idea anyway. Hopefully it all pans out and works well. It's a product that I want people to be happy with, not just that, and not like a t-shirt or like a phone case or something silly like where I just slap the Drifter name on it and be like, alright, it's new and you should buy it. It's something that I want to stand out and be really useful on its own. So, that's
The
kind of the
Drifter
idea.
mobile in-depth.
Yeah. I'm trying to explain it all while I'm playing games here. We're trying to launch Monday. It may end up being Tuesday.
That sounds actually really intense, though. This has been a long-term project.
It has been. Now, I don't want anybody to think that I went and bought or built my own damn towers, I had to partner with a company for this. And it piggybacks off the T-Mobile network, but I don't want people to think it's shitty like Cricket or Singular, whatever these companies are, where you just get like bad tier service. What we're doing is we're trying to provide same tier service, so like it's on the T-Mobile network, right? So you get same tier access as T-Mobile users. You don't get the shaft or anything. That's the goal.
It sounds like a really useful thing, though.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you see it that way. That's how I want it to be seen, as useful and not shiny. I'm just trying to break this damn Reinhardt shield. I'm not sure if that's really useful.
I'm not sure it would be useful for your team. I'm actually really surprised that that sounds like something that would be super like hyper competitive. Like that would actually be a huge problem for other networks to be like, this guy's on to something.
Well, it is and it isn't. Here's the deal. It's that other networks are seeking higher marginal profits.
Right.
People want the game volume down. I can turn the game volume down. Yeah, I have like 5 people saying the game volume's so high. Okay. Like, what we're doing is we're buying bulk data, and then we can resell it, but since we're not T-Mobile and we don't have 3,000 stores and 40,000 employees and this kind of stuff, it runs through a relatively small online deal that we don't have hardly any overhead, so we can afford to charge less. And T-Mobile's happy because they still make a profit even on the bulk data deal, so ideally it'll work for everybody. Let's see, gameplay, sound.
I almost wonder if this sounds like something that you can get probably like a angel investor really interested in.
Well, yeah, well, not entirely, because it's not
like a original thing, but
no, doing it in the context of YouTube is an original thing.
Yeah.
We ended up doing some things. The original plan was actually to try to do Verizon unlimited data instead of T-Mobile, but Verizon, they're much more expensive. So to do true unlimited data on the Verizon network would have been like $250, maybe $300 a month, and nobody's going to buy that.
Right.
And the other issue is that marketing to YouTubers is different than marketing to normal people. Russell Jensen, it'll be $60 a month. Just, that's it, $60 a month. However, if you are in alpha, we're going to try to get that down closer to 50. Just for life.
You have to be a good potato and you have to help with the feedback.
Yeah. So, like, the way that Verizon and a lot of these other companies work is that what's like a normal, like 2 gigabytes is pretty normal now. Let's say they sell a shit ton of 2 gigabyte plans. Realistically, surprisingly, very few people actually go over that 2 gigs or even get close to it. Most people don't use that much data.
I'm that guy.
Yeah, so on average, after they average out the fact that 90 out of the 100 people won't get close to 2 gigs and whatever, they end up making money on that. However, we did some market research and determined that, like, yeah, I'm pitching this to YouTube subscribers and stream watchers and stuff, and they're gonna watch just a boatload of data, like tons. They're just gonna watch all the time, so they'll blow up any sort of data cap we put in place out over anything under like 15-20 gigs. So to do that with Verizon, we can't depend on the people that won't use it because that's not a thing, and the price just has to go up like exponentially. So that's no good. And we're doing it Monday, and I'll go ahead and get off of this train right now because
it'll go on forever and ever because there's too much.
Yeah. I got a good comment. Somebody says the resolution is too bright. Mr. Thiago, you must be on that old like grandfather thing, like people that are just locked into that for ages ago. I'm on the same thing with Sprint right now. I have 2 phones. I have my own, and then I still have my old Sprint contract. Like, oh, that's a little less blob.
Is Anna still good? Yeah. I mean, Anna fills in a weird spot right now, so I don't know.
Insane long-range heals?
Well, it's the one component is the fact that she can anti-heal, which is extremely annoying because it counters Zenyatta.
Yeah. They're adding in more things like that, like League of Legends, like silences and anti-heals and stuff that I see in like League and other games.
Yeah, and I think that Overwatch is starting to realize that they need to go down the path of utility. But my concern is the fact that if they are going down the path of utility, they have to understand how to balance utility versus damage, because utility isn't something that is numerically like easily balanced.
No,
like,
it's not even remotely.
It's like, hey, here's a giant ice wall. How useful is that? How much damage does this character do in addition to having a giant ice wall? I don't know, man. So it's an interesting.
I did at your request, I did talk to the Overwatch team about some of the things that you wanted, and I got some answers, though I don't know how much you're gonna like them.
I don't care at this point.
Okay, well.
I mean, I don't care as in, like, even if they say, like, hey, you know what, we're going to go in a completely different direction. They're pumping in so much into Overwatch, it's kind of concerning to me. Like, I don't know, man. I hope it works out well. And, I mean, these are people that have been game designed for far longer than I am. But, yeah,
okay,
what they say?
Anyway, I talked to them about your #1 thing, which was that you felt there needed to be more heroes for more pick diversity. That's something I can actually agree with, right? And I talked to them about it, and they said that while they definitely considered that, they don't want to crank out heroes too fast because of balance concerns. And they also decided they didn't want Overwatch to be a game that changes too fast. They did compare it to like League of Legends, which if you don't play for a while and you come back to, you're like, what are all these heroes? Why is my jungle completely different? And what the hell's going on here, right? And they said they wanted Overwatch to change slightly slower, so that more casual players who come in and out between seasons and have school and work, they'll come back to it and be like, okay, we've got 1 or 2 new characters and not 8. You know, the game won't be completely different and won't alienate people that haven't been doing the everyday playing.
Okay.
So different aspect. I
interesting.
understand it, not necessarily agree, but I do understand.
Yeah, I guess, like, the idea of being incremental is kind of important, but I don't... Okay. I don't agree with that. I think that it's kind of a really... It kind of is saying that the solution is not a solution because it's not a solution. I don't understand that logic. Because I feel like if you want to go for incremental, if you want like the case study for something that's incremental, it's Dota. It's old Dota. Because Dota was about as incremental as you could be.
Well, Dota started off as a mod, like...
Yeah, no, but that's what, like, the old... So, if you're thinking, I think it's 5.4C and before that, every change, with the exception of whenever it was, like, in its rawest form, where they kind of went down the road of, we just have to add more people. But when they started to do changes, they were so small that most people would go in and be like, oh, this is exactly the same game, minus... Unless you're a top-tier player, which... You know, you notice the tiniest of changes, but for the casual player, they're like, oh, it's about the same. I still understand what I'm doing. Then they, of course, ran with 7, and now everything is out the window. But I don't know. Every single game I've played that is like a hero, arena, MOBA, whatever you want to call it, and even TF2, I think every single one of those companies decided, you know, they wanted to go with having just sheer numbers. Because of the fact that with more different points, you can better fine-tune what is valuable for your community. And the casual players in general may not necessarily care about the balance too much as having like a really solid sense of like, hey, I think I identify with cool Japanese samurai even though I am 11-year-old white boy, or like the one like random Asian man who is like, I am actually a giant drunk Caucasian dude named Bacchus. Like, it's just...
Ooh,
I
okay,
think
hold on. I
that
gotta change subjects here a little bit. I actually forgot a donation. I got too tied up. We have a guy in the chat, a sponsor, that says, what's the difference between good night and good evening? Question from a non-English speaker. Oftentimes there's not much difference, but good night usually means I'm going to bed, and it ends a conversation like, I'm going to bed, good night. Good evening is more like, oh, it's nice. It's like a nighttime greeting, like good day or good morning. I did have a question 14 minutes ago from Marcos, which I am sorry. I blame Choco for that one. He says,
my fault.
Hey,
I
Brad,
ramble, guys.
did you see that more weapons were leaked for MWR, including dual magnums, a sniper rifle, and an LMG? Marcos, unfortunately, I did not see that, but I do believe it. I heard about the dual wielding being a more default attachment now. So I guess that's just something I'll have to deal with. As for an LMG and sniper, it bothers me. I'm trying not to be too mean, but it bothers me down in the pit of my stomach that we're adding DLC weapons to an old, like, remade game. And I've had a lot of people say that, oh, it's, you know, the game's 10 years old, quit your whining. But it was like a sacred 10-year-old game. Choco, I don't know how much you were into COD 4, but you can't tell me that COD 4 is not a very respected shooter or game in general. It's considered one of those, like, game-changer games.
Oh, and PC FPS, COD 4 has, like, a sacred shrine that people make pilgrimages to. That you don't screw with COD 4 on PC, especially, because that was I think the best competitive FPS ground for a very, very long time. COD 4 Pro Mod, that was the thing. I myself never really got into it, but even across genres, like, I know not to screw with it because it's something that's really important to the community. But
right, it's COD 4. So you've got the right idea. It's that important of a game. Like, it's when you think about games that redefined gaming, and this is just off of the back of my head, you think about some Zelda, like Zelda Ocarina of Time. You think about Mario 64. When it comes to multiplayer, you're looking at like Dota League, Counter-Strike, Halo. Honestly, you know, it was a little different, but
Halo's a big shaker.
Yeah, Halo shook everything up. Call of Duty 4 is like that, and they're like, well, you know what, we're gonna do that, but let's make you pay for more guns. And that fucks me up because I'm sitting here not playing Infinite Warfare because I don't believe in the supply drop model, and then my non-supply drop game now has supply drop guns, and I'm like, well, great. That's awesome.
They heard that you wanted to increase the difficulty to legendary, so they went ahead and just made it real tricky for you.
People are saying, well, identical remaster doesn't mean identical, and while that's true, the game was pitched as a bonus game to people, but it wasn't pitched as a bonus game with additional microtransactions. We do get free DLC with it, which is nice, but it's not like the maps are new. They're remade, remastered, so I don't know, adding new guns is just, to me, crazy. That just, it just...
it's kind of a slap in the face. I think that's the thing for me that irks me about it too. It's just that you have the nerve to be like, okay, here's something that is clearly sold as something to kind of restore nostalgia, but we want to now add in this rogue element that people really don't like.
Exactly.
So having that one bad apple feature that, you know, in another game, you know, whatever, it's fine, it's your game. Leave my thing that I've always enjoyed alone. Because a lot of people just wanted better graphics of COD 4 and be like, that's it. That's all I want. I don't want anything else. Same exact thing with Final Fantasy 7. If they do that, I'm going to cut their, I don't know.
Got a bunch of chat comments coming on. Coley, I haven't ignored you. I've just been busy. TR8R, the network will not work in Russia until a couple months in. We're launching in US first and then expanding overseas. We have somebody saying, Choco, do you remember playing with Demo Jordan?
In what game?
Let me go over here to the chat and look it up. Demo Jordan and...
I'm inclined to say no. I've played with a lot of games with a lot of people, so I'm inclined to say no.
Hello, Gianna. Oh my god, I lost the message. Where the hell did it go? So many messages. I lost it. It are gone. Oh, did I not pick my hero? Well, fudge me. Okay. Got an attack Symmetra. I want a very resilient alt. Yes.
Together, we are strong. 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture.
We have John Smith says, I don't know, honestly don't know everyone's big problem with supply drops. Well, the big problem is you pay $60 to get a game, and then you pay for DLC, and then you have supply drops on top of that. It's like all of the bad business models combined with none of the benefits of the others. Like, yeah, there's a lot of business, like, there's a lot of games that are free to play that have, like, you know, pay for good shit supply drops and nobody's too upset about it. But this isn't a free to play game. This is, at the end of the day, this could easily be like a couple $100 game by the time you're done buying all the bits of gear and shit for it. So, yeah, we just got railed here.
Yeah, it's not even like it's something that's purely cosmetic. It has impact in the game. If it's you know like League or whatever, where it's just cosmetic items and whatever, I look cuter when I kill people. Fine, but the second it impacts someone else's ability to be as competitive, it starts tapping into that little bit in your brain that's like, I have to pay to win, and that's the big thing that especially the PC community does not like to hear. Pay to win is something that we've all hated for a very, very long time.
It is indeed, and Clouded Mind, I did indeed hear that it's going to be boots in the ground. That's after today's stream. That's what I'm going to be working on for tomorrow.
Get in there.
For me, man, I don't know. I think the big thing for me is that as someone who grew up around gaming, I know that younger me would have been ticked off, and that's what annoys me, is that younger folks who want to get into gaming to feel like they have a chance to compete at a high level, you're denied that ability. Yeah, you're like, there's a certain amount of paywall where you have to be like, I have to fork out the money in order to make this happen, and it's like, that's not really fair, because in my mind, especially back then and still now, it should be about skill. It should be about my dedication to the game. If it's an RPG, maybe it's just sheer man hours. But I want to feel like I've earned it, not
and
I've
different
earned
games
it.
do it differently. For instance, I'll use League of Legends as an example. You can spend money to unlock heroes, but all of the heroes are designed to be inherently balanced, so you don't get like advantage from unlocking them all, right?
And even League, I remember back when it was first kind of announced, right? People threw an absolute fit because people were like, I have to pay to have the full option set. But the thing became...
have you played Dreadnought at all, or World of Tanks? I've been
I
playing
have
Dreadnought,
played...
which has the World of Tanks model. And Dreadnought's it's in beta right now, and you can buy better ships, like statistically inherently better, but the ships are put in classes, which is interesting. And the higher your ship class, the higher your matchmaking tier. Like, it's 1 through 5 at the moment. So like, if you go and you fork over the money to just buy all the best shit in the game, well, congratulations, you're in the highest tier of matchmaking with people that also have just gone and bought the best stuff possible. So I think that's like a fair method, but Call of Duty isn't like that at the moment. Call of Duty is much more, you know, oh, well, you just play in the same playing field regardless of who spent the most money. And I don't think really many of the COD weapons so far have been inherently like OP or just, you know, beyond broken, but it sets a bad precedence, and some were definitely better than others. So it worries me.
And I think you said this in one of your other videos, like earlier on, was this idea, this notion of it's a slippery slope, right? Where do you stop going in for like, hey, these are restricted by payment? Because at the end of the day, yeah, there are a lot more people can play the game, keep the community alive whenever it's free, not as much whenever you have to pay. At a certain point, you will lose people, and it's like, hey, man, I want to play this game.
COD's making record profits every year on these supply drops, but there's less people playing.
And that's a darn shame, I think, because I think that it's when you split the community over something like this, especially COD, which was a game that really kind of came into its own because the community was so awesome. It just kind of hurts to see that happen, where it's like, all that time that you spent kind of working with us and trying to make the game better as a community thing, it's all gone to crap now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I think in terms of us, right, as YouTubers who kind of look in the gaming space, a lot of us inherently understand that, you know, you want to please your shareholders. You want to be able to show that you're in the green, you're making a good chunk of cash with your game. But we also think that there's a balancing act, right? You want to make sure that you're not just completely forgetting, like, hey, you know what? Games, in the end of the day, are designed to bring people happiness, and there's a certain level of that we want to disseminate to people.
There is. I think you see that to some degree here in Overwatch. Like, don't get me, Overwatch was designed to make money from the ground up. No questioning that. Like, you know, they've got drops and everything. but it seems like it was designed with the idea that, hey, we don't want to punish our younger or broker gamers and gate the heroes behind money. We can just do cosmetics, or, you know, and the access model is better for PC, which is, it's actually not their primary platform, believe it or not. It's $40 and you get the whole thing, and it's not, which is crazy because so many games before were just $40 releases, and now it's, oh my god, I get a whole game for $40? That's crazy.
Man, times really have changed when you think about it that way. You used to be able to just buy games outright for the price tag. For like everything. That was normal. To see DLC was like unusual.
Well, DLC makes a ton of money. There was, I think it was the EA investor conference, or what, I know Activision did theirs today, but EA released data recently that showed they make more money on post-sale profits than they do on the sale of the majority of their games. So like,
Scary.
yeah, no, that's a scary sort of precedent. I'm getting fucked up here in this particular match. Like, then, you know, that includes DLC, which is almost wrapped into the package of the game now. But to think that, I'll use Battlefield as an example. Battlefield will make more money than it on DLC and like battle pack sales and like unlock kits than it will on just the game itself. Oh shit!
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah, but think that that's crazy that you make most of your money after you've made your initial sale. Here's the crazy thing: we're so used to the $50 or now it's $60 games that I think Battlefield or Call of Duty would be a good one. Imagine if they just made Call of Duty a $100 game, and you just pay $100 and you get your whole year of COD content, right? But
I don't even want to think about that kind of world. That's really scary to think about.
Well, prices have to go up, right? That's kind of what's happening is they're making $100 worth of content and supporting the game all year long, but you're not paying for it all at once, basically.
Yeah, but okay, so here's the thing with that, right? I do agree that graphics are always, like, you're going to want to push your graphics a lot because that's the easiest way to show, like, hey, difference between this year's shooter of COD is different than this year because look at how pretty we look, kind of thing. And I get that, but I think that there's also a fair amount of, like, you know, we need to step away from things that are really costly for not a whole lot of, like, value. Because, let's be honest, like, when you play COD the 400th time in multiplayer, you're not paying attention to the way that your armor looks and just that kind of sunlight. At that point, you're getting annoyed with the fact that menus take as long as it does to shut down and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I think that they have to focus on, like, cutting the costs of certain parts of development.
I think you do not understand marketing, dude. Like,
no, and I get that marketing is the exact
out
opposite.
Of the building at the corporate marketing meetings. Like,
yeah, no. From marketing standpoint, I think this is great because DLC also lets developers know, like, hey, this particular DLC did exceptionally well. This clearly has a lot of pull. People are willing to pay for it, which can translate into further sales of a game at a later point in time. And I get that.
A lot of the better COD maps, especially in the case of Infinity Ward, have all been DLC. All of Infinity Ward's DLC maps have been, like, fucking fantastic every year.
Oh, it doesn't make it any less painful, though, does it?
No, but the idea that stupid gorilla's going crazy in my base.
All your gorillas belong to us?
Something like that. Oh man, I fell. But I don't know. See, but the idea is that the base price of the game is going to have to go up because I've heard. It's not any sort of secret intel, but if you don't have to do but read much news online, and you'll see that the $60 base price for major AAA video games just isn't cutting it these days. Like, let's be honest, do you think you can develop any major AAA game, like let's say the next Mass Effect, on a $60 price point?
No, but I also think that the Call of Duty is one of those interesting cases because of the fact that Call of Duty falls into the weird state of it is a yearly release. If it is a yearly release, I think that you have to change your priorities a little bit. At that point,
derail
it's
you
just
just a second. I got a donation. DDog94 says, "Hey Drifter, I'm not trying to be offensive or creepy, but Jessica's a beautiful woman and you're a lucky man. Also, what do you think is better, Overwatch or Team Fortress 2? Overwatch is better, obviously, because I'm playing it. I enjoy it more. And thank you for the compliments on Jessica. Back to Choco.
Oh, I forgot what I was saying.
You're talking about COD being a yearly release, and that makes different.
Oh
priorities.
yeah, if you're doing a yearly release, I think that there should be iconic keystone CODs, which you do make these grand campaigns for. But for me, I think I would almost be happier to know that a campaign rolls out every 2 years, and you sink a lot of money into that, and then you just repurpose 1 year to be all about the multiplayer. I personally would love that more than anything else. So like instead of having your budget always be like, because getting all the campaign assets are exuberantly expensive.
Oh, I'm aware. That's why they get slammed for like reusing bits of animations and reloads. I'm like, well, how else are you gonna afford all that?
Yeah,
I got bumped off the goddamn map.
But that's the thing, right? I feel like, what was it? Black Ops 3, I think. Maybe it wasn't No, I think it was Black Ops 3. I just didn't care for some of those campaigns, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, I have to be a fan of every campaign that exists, but it isn't worth the amount of effort, I feel like, because I feel that most of the players, especially if you're interested in DLC and you want to promote those sales, it would make sense to me that you would focus more on multiplayer being the key thing that you work on. Because if you're working on multiplayer, you're doing the sensible business decision. You're working on the part of the game that sells. And so I would much rather them say like, hey, you know what? It's not going to be as costly, but it will take some more time. We need to work on some really dope maps, right?
Yeah.
Get some good time spent on level design. Get some good time spent on weapon balance and making sure that the next weapon sets that we roll out for the new game
That's
are
kind of
good.
interesting you talk about Black Ops 3 because Black Ops 3 had a playable multiplayer in March the year. I was lucky enough to go, play it early, right? It was not really honestly launch ready, but it was doing very good. It would have made a very serviceable beta, in my opinion, in March. Like, I had a great time playing it. Whereas you can tell their campaign, not as much.
Right, and that's the thing. That's what irks me about it, is that Call of Duty inherently lends itself well as a multiplayer game. And this is... And I think that's even more so true with COD than it is in a series like Halo, for example, right? Halo, I don't think you can ever divorce Halo from Master Chief. People associate Halo with Master Chief. That's the way it's been, and that's probably the way it'll always be. But COD isn't that way. Black Ops, Modern Warfare, those were the two longest standing ones. I think they have a chance to reboot the entirety of their kind of game series and be like, hey, listen, let's just actually kind of pull a Titanfall, except from the position of we have a large market share that will return. And
Titanfall got fucked this year harder than any other game, releasing into every shooter on the planet. Like,
yeah,
I feel like Overwatch was really just kind of picking up steam in the fall, to be honest.
Yeah, but they released it at a really, really busy time.
They did, even against other EA games.
Yeah.
I think that they just went balls deep as anti-Call of Duty this year.
Yeah, I think they were acting like they were trying to prove something, kind of to their own demise.
Which is a shame, because Titanfall 2 is actually a very good game. I admit that I haven't played Titanfall too much recently. Not because it's a bad game, but because there's so many other major games going on right now.
Yeah. But even, I feel like if you focus on the multiplayer element, and you're willing to say, hey, you know what, there are certain things I just know, like, we're not gonna be able to do well with X, Y, or Z. I think that if you are not going in expecting to bat 1,000, and you just enter with the approach of, I am going to try to create a new set of multiplayer circumstances, number one, you avoid the issue of infinite warfare, which you start development in a very wrong direction, then realize everyone hates your guts for having done so.
Speaking of which, have you heard that next year's Call of Duty is boots on the ground?
I have not, and the thing that makes me very skeptical about boots on the ground is the fact that Call of Duty development cycle, I am almost positive that they're going to want to reuse some of that stuff, even though they may know that it's not going to be really favored. But I feel like they're going to do that anyways. So
I'm
I'm
a little confused.
I feel like they've invested so much in this exoskeleton and vertical.
Yeah, but the community overwhelmingly didn't like that.
I don't know if they're gonna take it as we have to now go the furthest possible distance away from it, or if it's gonna end up being like, okay, it's boots on the ground, but we're like, if the map designs come back with a lot of verticality and they somehow bring back boots on the ground and they also bring back like this idea of, but the maps are still very much vertical. Okay. I think you're gonna end up with a more likely situation for the next one. I can't imagine that they're going to get rid of all their design concept of verticality being super important. I just don't see that happening.
Let's say you can talk to the chat a little bit here. I wanted to say hello to Midnight Shift and hello to David Cotier and Devontae McNair, and somebody said hello to me that I missed. Riley Nash, good to see you too. Haven't seen you in a while. I think you're right, but it's kind of like it's what the customer wants, and they overwhelmingly don't want the jetpacks anymore. The jetpacks really didn't bother me very much. I was pretty happy with them, to be honest, but I'm an outlier in the community. I'm aware that the community that I'm a part of does not want the jetpacks at all.
Like, to put it very nicely.
Yeah, they just don't want it.
But, I mean, I don't know. I think the community I think that was a mismatch, honestly speaking. I think that the community misunderstood the problem of what they disliked about jetpacks, which was verticality and having open map design really screws with your ability to play the game as old COD. Because old COD is almost entirely built on the idea of play in your lane, go crush out whatever you need to crush out.
Control the spawns, position, you know.
Yeah, and it turns into, at a higher level, can you outplay? If you can outplay, you can continuously outplay for a very long time, and you can stay alive.
Yeah, well, in COD we would say outslay.
I call it spawn camping.
But no, you're right. But in this one, I think, you know, as much as I enjoyed AW, they kind of had the biggest problem with it because the speed of the boost were such that you could, like, boost into people's faces and pass them and kind of screw up how console shooters naturally aim.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that it's... You can't... If you boil it down, what annoys people is the fact that, hey, that skill that I've been refining as Call of Duty skill is no longer applicable. You guys are jerks. And I think that's the big thing that really turned a lot of people off in a hurry. But I mean, I don't know. I've been hooting and hollering about the freaking verticality of COD ever since
Unknown Element. I think I'm like just shy of 2600 SR at the moment. I've got a long way to go to Diamond.
One day.
Yeah, one day. One day I'll be
you hear
good.
That? Ooh.
Oh, and the Master Overwatch ranks are not accurate, the distribution.
Yeah, no, those things are beyond incorrect. Those things are super skewed towards higher rank, because that's the people that care a lot about their rank. People who are not so good at the game, in terms of the people who are like 80, 100 billion years old. A weird number, I know, but for those people, they just
800 billion years old. Wouldn't that make them
trillion? Question mark? Are we in the trillions at that point?
You know, about 80. That would make them over 100 times older than the entire universe. So.
Yeah, so it sounds about accurate.
Yeah.
So the people who can't use computers well, but are still trying out the game because, you know, LOL. I don't know. I think
Spiral Tension, I'm glad that you think I'm good with Zarya. I appreciate it.
Ooh.
I just want Call of Duty to be good. This year it really was not for me.
Yeah.
I think this year was the first year I couldn't.
You just couldn't.
I just couldn't for Infinite Warfare. I wanted I wanted my game to be good. It was not, and it was not to the point where I just didn't enjoy it. I tried. Actually, I tried again recently. I played with J-Hub. It wasn't nearly as bad. And I got a message from Terribility. For Honor looks very good. I haven't played it yet, but it looks very good. I played it recently with J-Hub, and they've patched it and updated it, so it's running better than it has been in a long time. And that I'm happy with. And maybe it's because I haven't played in so long. Great, I'm with a fucking 4-stack. That's awesome. I'll just pick last. I'll let these people get their rolls. So maybe I just didn't have as much built-up frustration, but it's still not the game that was really that fun for me to play. I got another donation coming in. I think I'm going to end up having to... We got multiple healers. We need an honest to God. I'd rather DPS.
Hey, you know there, Drifty. If you're feeling like you want to get a little bit mingly, you can always have me join on board. Wink, wink.
We can try that after this game if you want. One of my players left the match. Let's see. I did get a donation. Cryptic Crane says, "Hey Drift, how are you? And are you excited for the next Boots on the Ground for the next cycle?" Yes, I am. I have faith in Sledgehammer. Okay, Choco, I'm gonna invite you. I said that it makes me feel a little dirty because I told like 3 people I wasn't gonna play with anybody, and now I'm here playing.
No, it's okay then.
No, it's not a big deal. Do you want me to invite you on your main account?
Yeah, I just joined one, so I thought you were in one.
Oh, that's okay.
Feels bad.
I will play another then.
Yeah, I'll wait for you after the next one if you want to play.
Oh, Choco waits. I know Choco will wait for me.
Hey, Knights of Bronzonia, stay together, man.
I thought that I would be much more angry than I am now, because that's typically how how the medication withdrawal works. Yes, the PPSH and M16 are in Black Ops 3, but I believe that Sledgehammer is going to try. I know one thing I can say about Sledgehammer is that they legitimately listen to the community. I know the well, Condry and Schofield, and I know talk to some of the other people there. They listen, they care, you know. Oh, here's a good one.
Sledgehammer was the same company that they were the nerds, right?
I'm not sure about that.
They were the guys who they made a little bit of a stir whenever people were starting to ask about like competitive COD, and they brought like a notepad and sat in the tournament and like started like scrambling to take notes. Like, okay, people are enjoying this part of the game. Everyone's
yeah, they were.
These creepy people doing.
That was a story that a lot of people told. Chaos 5338 mentions that apparently if Bungie doesn't deliver Destiny 2 by the end of 2017, then Activision is entitled to shares of Bungie. Yeah, it's a performance agreement. It's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, they have to get a Destiny. Well, they've been working on it for a while now, so I'm not really worried about it. No, that was it. It was the COD Ghost, COD Champs, which I went to, and it was really awkward to meet Michael Condry for the first time. Be like, hey, I leaked your game 6 months early. It looked really good, and you know, honest to God, he looked at me and he's like, he just said, well, I'm glad you had good things to say about it, and just so you know, that leak, that shit's been plugged. But no, they brought out all the Sledgehammer staff, and they were sitting there at COD Ghost XP. I think there were a couple of them there that came to take notes and study, and a lot of them were there just to watch, and they were completely unprepared because Sledgehammer had never like been in the face like that, and they had fans and pros and YouTubers like all up in their shit, being really nice, honestly, giving suggestions. Hey, we like this, we don't like this, can we do this, can we not do that? And they were just so not prepared for all the feedback that they would be getting.
Well, I mean, if nothing else, the COD community is quite vocal. If nothing else at all.
That they are. But it was very nice to see them, especially on the second day. There were way more people with notepads coming out to just take notes on literally everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, granted, I've never met the guys, but it seems like the Sledgehammer guys are kind of cool.
Oh, I gotta get back over here. I gotta wait this one out.
I think they are what I would call a Nito burrito. What's my favorite game? Depends what you mean. Multiplayer game of all time would be Dota. Most impactful game in my lifetime that I treasure above many things is Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, come on, I thought you were going to say Hello Kitty Online.
Oh. Mate, that's at a different level, alright? That's not even a game, it's a way of life.
Yeah, so, like, no game studio is perfect, right? But I know that Sledgehammer legit... I know that they care. If they make mistakes, it's not from lack of giving a fuck, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why I'm really okay with Overwatch, is that I love the fact that Blizzard's old way of being like stonewalling everybody, not really gonna give a flying crap about what people say because they're busy focusing, that whole thing going out the window. They're like, we're gonna try to do like developer talks so people know like what we're doing and they're not mad that they think that nothing is happening.
Yeah.
That to me is like a good sign of like, yeah, okay, you guys get us. You guys get the fact that we get a little bit antsy.
Let's see. Reverend Schmitty's talking with Terribility. Yeti Game says, I feel like COD won't redeem itself for a while. I think Charlie Intel was saying only 11% of players who follow the COD media and COD drama. Yeah, what they're talking about is only 11% of people that play Call of Duty are engaged in YouTube, Twitch, any of the official or unofficial media sources. I don't think that's actually that rare or bad. Like, I don't think that big a percentage of people that play Overwatch are engaged in the Overwatch community in any real capacity. Like, they're...
Oh, man.
That's not uncommon, and that's kind of the issue that I run into when a lot of people say, well, you know, it's YouTubers' fault that supply drops are popular, and you hear it two ways, that either YouTubers explicitly promoted them or passively supported them, or that the amount of money that YouTubers spent, which in many cases was in the thousands to guarantee the new items, would like single-handedly support the evil Activision minions.
The axis of evil, it will live forever because of
and that
axis.
doesn't hold up for two ways. Even if you say that 10% of people are paying attention to YouTube, which is, to be honest, a bit generous, that would mean that, at best, if me and all of the other COD YouTubers got together to force a change from any sort of change in momentum or anything, that we could affect 10% of whatever the hell's going on. If everybody agreed, which this community, that's a fun one.
Yeah,
so
it's like saying that, you know, if we took all of Bill Gates' money, we're no longer like gonna have no poverty anymore.
No,
that is a lot of money, but you don't got that much money. You don't know. Don't got that much
stuff
pull.
Like the YouTubers have single-handedly kept this in business by buying supply drops, and they're like, yeah, maybe 100 YouTube channels bought 1,000 drops, which is, you know, $100,000. But y'all don't seem to realize that this stuff is, we're talking orders of just crazy magnitudes of money. That, you know, $100,000 is a drop in a budget. That's like, they make more than that money in a day, every day, regardless of who's buying. Like, that's just not a concern.
You're not even paying for full staff. You're not even breaking even with that kind of money. Forget about profit talk. You're still gonna lay off like half your force just for that kind of stuff, man.
I get it. It's definitely a big visual thing to see shitloads of people spending money on drops, right? But that doesn't mean that YouTubers are keeping them in business by themselves. I wish I was so important that I were like changing the business practice by myself. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because then you wouldn't have to have these dilemmas of, man, Infinite Warfare, why gotta be this way? Modern Warfare Remastered, why gotta be making me Miss Cleo? Why?
Yep.
It's a tough life, boys. It's a tough life. Man, if Destiny 2 is released on PC, that'd be dope.
I wish it would be.
I'd try it, 120%.
I think that PC releases should be the standard these days, because PC really is a big market. It's not, you know, it's not small. It waned there for a little bit. There was this time where like PC gaming was on the downswing, but PC gaming is hot shit right now. It's big.
Yeah, I would. PC gaming runs into the same thing. as
did
always.
I miss a donation? I think I may have missed a donation.
How could you, Brad?
Oh, nope. Okay, I'm good.
But PC, I don't know. PC gaming has a lot of development issues, like a lot of undeniably annoying development issues.
What, like the fact that
there's
have
9 billion combinations of hardware.
Yeah.
There's God knows what people have done to their computers. That you have increased levels of
PC
piracy.
gaming, you'll get shit on. Be like, I can't believe that your HDR shaders are using a 2009 algorithm that's only supported by blah 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 graphics card. This is clearly not a AAA game. But on console, people be like, oh, it looks pretty.
Yeah. And all the data miners are like, oh, you did half our job for us by putting it into a computer file that's really easy to access. And everyone's like, son of a gun, why did we do that? But, I mean, that said, I would love if the PC community was I think at the forefront. If they did it as like the first test, I think all games would be way, way better. Because PC has the most amount of control and precision, and if you balance it around that, you should be in good shape, really.
Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, you see with Overwatch, there's different patches for console and stuff. Okay, we've got some questions here in the chat. We have Reverend Schmitty's talking about COD still being the best-selling game of 2016, and it was, but it was by a much smaller margin than before, like way smaller. Was it the best-selling game? And also, we have you heard of the Dear White People controversy? Which I will ask you, Choco, have you heard of such things?
What? The what?
Dear White People, the Netflix TV show.
Nope. Sounds like a whole bunch of bigotry that I don't want to get into.
What word did you just use?
Bigotry?
No, Choco. Only
Did
white people
I just trigger you?
bigotry. Stop it. No, okay,
Well,
so...
I'm a banana. I'm yellow on the outside, white on the inside. It's cool. I'm authorized.
You're author... Oh, God. Okay. Try to keep this more under control. So, have you heard of the movie Dear White People?
No, I have not.
Or I think it was maybe a book at first. So it was the short story is like it's like this sort of war, not like a really like violent one, but like between fraternities in college, between a black and white fraternity, right?
Okay.
And it gets increasingly racist as they obviously dislike each other and they compete for things. And it's basically like a comedy where they just kind of shit on white people for doing the stupid things that they do sometimes, like racist stuff, for the most part.
You mean the dumb people that everyone does, or just white people?
No, just white people, like, oh, like all the white people are like anti-white stereotypes that are moderately racist and rich and stuff like that.
Oh. So the not-so-good stuff.
Yeah, the not-so-good stuff. And what ends up happening is... straight. I'm trying to kill people and do all this at the same time.
It's hard to kill people and tell a story. It really is.
It's not.
And you are much better at this than I am.
So, it's not. It is a comedy and it is a parody, but it's one where if the roles were flipped, it would be considered overtly racist. But since it's an anti-white thing, it's not considered as overtly racist. For pretty obvious reasons, right? That's just...
Yeah.
There's a belief that only white people can be racist or harbor racism. Because...
That's just not true. I've been to downtown South Korea. That downtown Seoul? Nah.
That's what I tell people, and I'm like, yo, you think white people are bad at racism? You haven't been to China or like anywhere in Asia. But the belief is and they want to change the definition of racism, that anybody can be prejudiced, but racism only comes from a position of power, which so far only white people occupy.
Say what?
Yeah. Anyway, Dear White People is a new show that Netflix picked up, and it's about that, and it's moderately racist. I've seen worse stuff. It's not like let's go hang everybody, but it's not pleasant, you know.
Of all the example quotes to get, I am mildly concerned about this show now. Was not so concerned before. Definitely concerned now.
It's not the greatest, okay? And what's more strange about it is like, you know, the alt-right and like the Trump train, they shit bricks about it, and they're all like, canceling my Netflix, don't want any part of this, which makes sense. It's piss them off. The head writer for the show is this really ridiculous-looking white dude that I swear to God looks like
the aliens guy.
He doesn't look that different. He looks like a big hipster. Like, you ever see the white people that sit around and they're like, fuck white people, whites are the worst, and then you look at their picture on Facebook and they're like Casper the Ghost? It's like the stereotypical perfect example of that. It's
So,
I don't know how this
so
goes.
really creepily hypocritical nerds.
Yeah, it is. And also the same guy I saw during the election cycle was tweeting about, we need a genocide for all white people. And they were like, they asked to clarify. They're like, can you, what we're going on here? And they're like, no, we need to kill all white people to make things even. And he's very white. He's like ridiculously, like, dude looks like he comes out of Portland kind of white.
Mm.
And it's just the strangest thing. And it's very controversial right now. I'm trying to give you, you can tell I'm trying to give you the most neutral sort of
You're trying to be politically correct and neutral, which is very difficult to do whenever it's.
So what is your opinion about Dear White People, the show?
Well, my opinion is going to be that whenever you have idiocy anywhere, it's going to be really dumb. That's the nature of idiocy.
Now, here's a fun one. Netflix has like 1,000 shows. It's not like broadcast TV. How about you just like don't watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Thiago has been asking for me to tell a story for a long time, which will probably.
Ooh, do Snow White. Do Snow White.
Oh boy.
That's more like it.
You know what's actually a really difficult story to read? The Emperor's Nightingale. I never thought it was that complicated to read, but man, the original is really, really hard.
I have no idea what that is. How's your competitive game going?
It's almost over, actually, I think. I hope.
So, Choco, I will tell you a story, which will also be for the chat, but Choco, you have to pick the story. You have to tell me what to talk about.
I want you to talk about the history of hot dog buns.
That is one from which I have very little knowledge. I can talk about the fact that I understand how they're manufactured, that they're not in collusion with hot dog manufacturers, so that the number of buns to dogs are different, and that you can't ship them in the same packaging because of weight and distribution. I know that they use, is it theobromide? There's a particular chemical in cheap breads that's known to be cancerous, but we use it a lot in the United States. That's in most hot dog buns, and that that's about the extent of my knowledge.
I didn't realize the hot dog bun story was so grim. I don't know how I feel about this story. I can't put my kids to sleep with this.
It's just what is the name of that chemical?
Death.
No, theobromide's in chocolate.
Dadgummit, Theo. Why you gotta be this way?
Trying to look up the name of it. Oh my god, it's been so long. Oh my god. It's just like a cheap thing that's in a lot of our bread. If you eat in large quantities, it can be toxic. So not toxic. What's the word for cancerous?
It's a carcinogen.
Carcinogens. It's a big carcinogen. Yeah.
Well, guys, so what I learned today from Drifter Stream is don't eat hot dogs. That's one food that's ruined for me forever.
So let's try again. Let's try a different story. Something a little longer this time.
Ooh. The story of how you fell in love with Call of Duty.
Okay. I told this a couple of times. I was a big Halo player. Loved Halo. Was playing Halo.
Oh, GG unsubscribing. All right, later, guys.
Halo 3. I operated a clan on a Halo 3. We were doing competitive. I purposefully avoided MLG and game battles because I didn't like that in their model, and many people viewed you were not a real clan or a real team if you weren't on these sites. Because I was clanning back before there were like big leagues and stuff. So every group maintained their own site and their own league and their own records. And then all of a sudden MLG and these guys showed up and they're like, well, if you're not with us, you're not real. You're not official.
You're not Facebook official, except MLG
I didn't really like that. But anyway, I saw the trailer for COD 4, and I thought it looked lame as hell. I thought it looked like the most boring, generic sort of, oh, look at us, we've taken a World War II shooter and thrown it to Iraq. Congratulations. Yeah, J-Hub's in the chat saying life is a carcinogen. I thought it looked really stupid, honestly. And everybody was all hyped about it, and I had a bunch of my friends from Halo playing the COD 4 beta, and they wouldn't shut up about it, but I was really adamant that Halo was the thing, and I loved it, and I didn't want to try it. And I eventually went to a friend's house, and they were playing COD 4, which I'd seen the campaign, I wasn't super impressed, and I saw the multiplayer, and the COD 4 multiplayer looked really good. And don't get me wrong, I had played other Call of Duty games before, just casually, on and off, not a big deal. And I said, that looks neat, can I sit down and play? And I started playing COD 4, and then I looked up and I realized I'd been playing for like an hour straight. Like I was sucked into COD 4, that it was so intuitive feeling, that it was good feeling. Okay.
This is a story of boy meets game. Boy falls in love with game.
Like, you know, even getting killed by claymores, it pissed me off, and then I realized, oh, that's cool because claymores are real, but there's counters to it. And the way the guns aim down sights and the way you did a lot of things, it felt very good and fun to play. So I was in college, so I scrapped up some money and ended up buying the game. Let me know when I can invite you, by the way.
All right, sounds like a plan.
And I bought it, and I played through it, and I leveled up a bit on my own, and I really legitimately enjoyed playing Call of Duty 4. I played the campaign. It was way better than I expected. I had a lot of fun with it. I played the ever-living crap out of the first one. Most people measure that in prestiges. I never prestiged because there was no benefit for it at the time.
The ever-logical drifter.
Yeah, and I just played the hell out of it, and then I played Modern Warfare. I don't think I did World at War very much. Didn't care for it. I played Modern Warfare 2 and got into the YouTube scene, and I was just kind of hooked with COD 4. It was such a good game, especially for the... I know it suffers... You can go back and play MWR, and you can see there's balance issues now, but at the time, the game was so incredibly good, and Halo became an increasingly less important part of my gaming diet, and increasingly more for Call of Duty. And guys, if you're wondering, I'm just waiting to get Choco in here. Husker Gamer, good to see you. Unfortunately, I'm no longer taking ads on Battle.net because I get a lot of messages on there. And Husker Gamer, weren't you a sponsor at one point? I'm pretty sure you were. Yeah, people talk about May as Bay. We can go look at May's character model here and drool all over her situation. Here we are. Yep, there's the May butt back there. Do you know when this thing ends? This whatever it's called.
14th question mark?
What's the day then?
The 9th.
Okay, so I've got some time to earn
let me see.
more.
It's I think it's on the Battle.net app. The game just ended, by the way.
I think prestiging does give you an unlock, but it's like the permanent unlock.
2/13.
What?
It ends on the 13th. So.
Okay, so just 2-3 more days.
Let me see. Yeah, the collection will return to the vault on February 13th. So, at some point during that magical time.
I still got my Yeti Harambe here.
I am prepared to be invited. Invite the booty.
Okay, I will invite you. You have been invited. How has your losing spree been?
It's been really, really hard.
How is it so hard to lose?
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I will never purposefully try to completely ruin someone's game. I don't do that. I will try to play things I'm just not very. I know I'm not very good at. And I'll be like, hey, I'm legitimately trying to have fun my own way, and I think that should be fine. But yeah, there are some matches, man, where people get really butthurt about me playing things, and they're like, "You see that attack Torbjorn? Could you not?" I'm like,
"Oh, don't worry. Eventually, I will get my Hanzo only class leveled up, which I've been procrastinating for the last couple of days because of the medication stuff. But I can play Hanzo only, and you can play Mei, and we can just go lock into these games as Hanzo and Mei, and I'm sure everybody will be very happy with us."
Well, actually, so my Mei actually is kind of decent enough, I guess. And my win percentage, I guess I somehow at some point climbed it up. but people are like, yeah, player May, and I'm just like, what? Who are you people? You guys didn't exist before the patch. Where'd you all come from? And now it's just like, oh, hey, it's that guy. I had one guy who just trash talked me and was like, oh, I just play with you. I'm a top 500 player, but you're so garbo, and why are you still throwing this game? And then at the end of it, he goes, wow, you're an amazing Torbjorn. I'm like, what world is this?
It's nutty. I did notice, I looked at the picks for competitive for like tournaments and stuff. There are characters that are super popular in solo queue that get literally no, and I mean zero use whatsoever for like proper competitive matches. Oh, you're playing Mercy?
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm trying to be a good teammate, and I just watched one of our people vanish into the desert.
That was me.
No, it was someone else. Someone just straight up died at the very start of the game. It was our Zarya. She just...
the Reinhardt did the Spanish Inquisition and went for the picks.
Honestly,
like,
good on you. Good on you for doing the Spanish Inquisition, Mike. Yo, I got you, home skillets. I got you. You won't even believe the kind of management I have. I've played RPGs, man. I know how to manage HP. I manage HP like you wouldn't even believe. I got you, squad. Oh, crap.
Yeah, I got a little critical there. Oh, shite.
Ooh. There are some spooky things going on here, friends. Some spooky
I'm trying to
things.
get better at Soldier. He's such a good character right now.
I think we just need to have you here.
Oh, come on. I was on the other side of the freaking wall. That's so strange how...
No, don't do it! Don't do it! Don't you dare do it! Oh, God. I just shaved years off my life that I'm never getting back.
Jay Ryan, I wouldn't get mad if you donated money. That's a very strange question, but despite whatever Reddit has to say, I do not stream for money. I do this for fun, and I am fortunate enough to make a pretty good living just off the ad revenue, so it's not a concern for me if you guys want to donate, or if you don't, they're appreciated. Not trying to shit talk you, but...
This is a filthy lie. This is the only source of snack money that Boomy and Ozzy get, so just know you're starving dogs. You monsters. Oh, Drifty. I'm going to try to keep you alive in this situation.
Shit on this little dude here. Alright. Trying to cut down the Mercy before she can reposition for a big res.
Aye, aye, aye.
98% of Hanzo players are scrubs. Yeah, but if I want to be a Hanzo player, just even on my alt account, I don't want to be a bad Hanzo, right? I want to be a Hanzo that's worth your time.
The dating ad for Hanzo. I want to be the Hanzo that's worth your time. I want to be the one that will change. You're giving alt charge for the healers.
You also give ult charge for them too.
Well, that's actually a big thing in competitive, like at really high rank. It's people will actually be like, don't throw out a fire strike. It's not worth them having a support ult over your ult, Reinhardt, and so on and so forth. Like, people get really, really riled up about who you give. Oh, there's a Roadhog behind us. I was picked off and murdered.
I got hit by some Helix rockets.
Yeah, there's some spooky stuff going on.
No, the dogs are quite well fed for the most part.
I'm not a young man anymore.
Okay, that's okay. I was like, what is this pitter patter right here? Is it death or is it friend? The answer was friend, thankfully.
I'm kind of behind all of them.
Do it, do it. I have res. End their lives.
Well, actually, I have a Reinhardt chasing me around here, which is bad.
That could end very poorly for you.
Gonna reposition a bit.
We have a lot of teammates that are on the way out. JK, everyone somehow lived? Question mark? How?
Fucking shit. I got hooked as soon as I ulted. Oh, that sucks when that
Feels
happens.
bad, man.
I saw all three of them right there, like, just
oh,
so
God!
ready.
Well, I just joined you in the afterlife.
That's okay. We'll have a tea party together with ethereal tea.
Oh man. Drift, I have a question. I have a laptop and I'm looking for a webcam. Do you have anything off the top of your mind that you recommend?
Okay. Well, I'm kind of surprised that your laptop doesn't have a webcam built in, but if you're looking for a better webcam, pretty much nothing's gonna beat the good old Logitech C920. That's just they have a new 4K webcam now, which is quite nice. But I'm gonna go out here and just ult. Oh, I don't have my ult. Wasted. No. Nothing beats that Logitech C920 for price, the ease of use, and value, and all that sort of stuff. That one's just super easy to go for. So it's not very expensive either, so I would recommend it.
That soldier tried to melee our Reinhardt because he was so low. Oh, mistakes. The best kind. Oh, there's a Bastiones.
Yep, I'm having a hard time cutting them down.
Well, it doesn't matter if we push it.
To touch the objective. Yeah.
How to win games. Convince the enemy team not to go to the objective.
Got a donation from a slightly ripe avocado. Okay. It says, Drift, if Doomfist is the next hero to be released, what do you think his abilities will be? He should definitely be a tank. Yes, you can reload manually in this game. I think Doomfist should definitely be a tank. What would his abilities be?
Imagine if he was a support. The ultimate curveball that no one saw.
No. Because we need more tank variety. I think he could use... you know, fun would be like a brief invulnerability ultimate, or an ultimate that's just kind of like, imagine a Reinhardt dash, but one that deals damage. Like he just does this One Punch Man level punch that just goes straight forward, no steering, no nothing, and anybody that gets stuck in your way is just dead, but it'd have to be kind of slow. And you can tell I would be a great game designer. I don't know, he would have to have a lot of punch mechanics, and one of the more interesting ones was there was this character in Block and Load, at least in the pre-released alpha I got to play. There was like this guy called Sweet Science, and he had one glove that could like punch through space and time and like teleport you toward the enemy. So like left punch was like this weird mobility punch, and right punch you could like stun or do like a big damage hit. And then of course you can do regular like punches once you get in close. But he was this weird guy that you would have to like swing once to teleport, and then your next punch, so you'd have to left right combo it, would be to stun, and then you could slap them around a little bit while they were stunned. So I imagine him being something more like that, but I'm not sure how well that would work in Overwatch.
I really hope it's just One Punch Man. That's all I really want. Just every now and then, just one taps you. Just. Oh, I'm scared. I am very scared.
Why?
Because we're not holding up at all. We instantly folded there. That was weird.
Well, I have to stay behind the tank, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this Reinhardt was like noping straight out of that. Meanwhile, me and Reinhardt are hunting down a soldier. He's coming back to the choke right now. That was weird. What is this match? What is happening? I am legitimately confused as to what is going on right now. Our Reinhardt completely forsook the shield and just was like, nah, I'm chasing after this one soldier. Like, bruh.
Hey, Wiz, unfortunately, I do believe that Platinum is considered lower elo, so we're... Actually, no, but you're dying. Oh, God, I'm dead. So, but you're up in there in that diamond range, so it shouldn't be happening. I mean, we're at 2800 SR, it shouldn't be happening that much. Shouldn't.
Oh, no! Oh, come on!
You missed the res, didn't you?
Yeah. I got hooked. I got greedy. I went for the 4-man. I should have just taken the 3-man. That was my own fault. Oh, I got greedy.
Shit, I didn't even know we had a Hanzo.
Yeah, he was sitting in their spawn for quite some time. Oh, that's my fault too. Feels bad. Yeah, on this account, I hit my master's rank, and then I immediately was like, this is insanely boring, and I left.
I'm just eating these fire strikes. I don't know why I don't feel it necessary to dodge them. I should, but...
Games
You've
that
got me
Drifter was not
addicted
good
to
at.
heals.
Frogger.
Oh, have you seen the VR Frogger?
No, that sounds terrifying. I feel
Oh,
like that
yes. You play as the
stress you
frog
out.
and you have to cross the road. It is
there's
so
a tracer behind us.
crazy.
Tracer behind. Tracer behind. No!
Oh, thank you for the res.
Oh, Reinhardt just died too.
I think
Feels
Enzo
bad.
put her down.
Yeah, Hanzo killed the Tracer.
I've got you in my sights.
Oh, I got Reinhardt ulted, and I'm dead.
I couldn't kill the soldier. He had his visor on my visor. I focused Ryan while he focused me, so that didn't work so great.
I heard you like visors, so I put visors on your visors. Feels good, man. Man, our Reinhardt is not like... he's not trying to be a tank. He's trying to be like a sneaky assassin, and it's great.
There are a lot of Reinhardts I've seen that like doing that. They like to, I don't know, they just think it's their job to get picks and pin people.
No, but he's not shifting. That's what I thought he was doing too. But this dude is exclusively swinging his hammer. He just runs around and just swings his hammer like crazy. Like, I get it. You have a giant hammer. It looks like it would do a lot of damage, but I don't think it does quite as much as you think it does. Oh, there is a Tracer that is trying to...
I don't know, I'm trying to fight their soldier as well, so one battle at a time, Choco, sorry.
No, by all means. I'm just letting you know that we see a small British girl running around, or whatever she is. She's not friendly. She bites. She bites really, really hard. The shape of a pulse bomb. Ba-da-da-da. Let me boost you there, friend.
Thank you for the damage. Oh, Ryan, you got flexed up there, buddy.
Ooh. Oh? Nope, just a whole bunch of disappointment. Why does he die every time I res? I need to stop resing. That's what I've learned from this situation.
Oh no!
Oh,
come
Drifty.
on. That was weird because he was asleep, you know, and you hit him, you pound him, you peg him, and then just like he hooks me midair as he's flying away. It's super annoying.
Flies through the air. Well, at least we got the attack visor down.
Yeah, we did. I've still got mine that I'm saving for scary situations, you know.
I think the next time you see the Tracer, you should pop it, honestly.
Okay, I'm actually just staying in the back. I'm kind of...
Tracer's on her backline?
Where'd she go? Shit, I see her.
She's being a spooky ghost.
I'm not very confident in our Reinhardt, so I'm mostly just staying back. I see her.
I think that's fair. I think that's completely, utterly understandable. Oh, we need to get on the point. We need to get on the point. We need to get on the point. And I just got mauled. Like a snake goat. I don't even know what a snake goat is, but I got mauled like one. Wow, we held it right at the end.
Barely.
Yeah, there's also a nerd over here.
Yes, there is. He's nerding out, though. Tracer is no longer amongst the living, which is good.
I will take it. It is the position of these United Overwatchers that we do not negotiate with terrorists. We shoot them with bows and arrows and stuff. Swing hammers around. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and assume that terrible things are going to happen to me.
Yeah, that's why I'm backing up. Like, I know it'd probably be a little more useful in their faces, dealing slightly higher DPS, but I just don't want to be near our bad heart. Sorry.
I'm really concerned about our that Tracer just pulse bombing everyone and the end of the world happening. That's
apparently there's some kind of fight going on between Hanzo.
Oh, Tracer's going towards you. Tracer's running towards you.
Okay.
I'm scared for you, Dad. I'm scared for you, Dad.
I got her. Don't worry
Where
about
is
me.
it?
Heal the idiots. I've got my little pod.
Which one? There's just so many. Ooh. Oh, that might have been slightly overkill. I am leaving. I am
that's not good.
Straight the heck out of there.
Hope you got a big res.
I hope you guys are going to get on the point. A man hopes for a lot of stuff. Does not necessarily mean we're getting anything. Don't worry, I whipped out my battle mercy. I single-handedly won that fight, Captain.
Oh, I believe it. I saw it. I saw you battle Mercy then.
I think it actually triggers people. When they see Mercy with a gun, they're like, oh, heck no. I'm girl. They just
Can't
aggro.
lose this challenge. It's not possible.
Look at her Reinhardt. What a brave little soul.
Need to back up from the bullshit zone.
Oh, Hanzo actually. Oh, let's say Hanzo drove.
Push him back.
Hanzo's hitting him over there from the side pretty hard. I'm just trying to crack Reinhardt's shields day in and day out.
Ooh, I am very spookified. Oh, they got a res, boys.
Well, what
They
that means
got a
is they don't
naughty
have
sausage
it
of a res.
for a more critical push. Oh, I got popped by soldiers. Rockets, I'm out. You're gonna have to hold without me, man.
I'm resing whoever I could. And then I'm swapping straight away.
To who? Lucio, I suppose? May?
Wow. That was the most brutal overkill I have ever seen in my life.
Well, we did manage to win the game, which is good.
Yeah. Did you see? That Roadhog had like 3 HP left, and our Ryan got boosted and immediately charged him.
I did not. It says actual Hanzo carry. Nice. I'm not so sure about that. I think,
Well,
that may have
he
been a
got some good
soldier
shots
carry.
off. He did get some good shots off.
He did.
He wasn't a potato, which is carrying, I guess.
I didn't get that many. I had no medals for eliminations, but gold damage. What does that mean I've been doing?
Hurting people? Shooting at shields a lot? Question mark.
I think I've been doing that. I think usually as soldier, I view it as one of my jobs to make Reinhardt's shield much less effective. So he's constantly getting peppered.
Well, you're gonna love that new Bastion change, mate. You're gonna love it.
Scatter arrow kills. I'm gonna toss it up for that.
I'm gonna toss it up to my Knight of Bronzonia. Oh, Dr. White, boy, you could have been something special.
Yep, thank you for the well-wishing in the chat, all the victory. Yes, I did get 28k damage. Did I miss a donation? I gotta make sure I did not.
Alright, I think I got to duck out here, so I will leave it to you there.
I think it's a good time for me to duck out as well. So
Got
I
some
am going to
sleep, man.
bounce, and I'm going to go ahead and end this short stream on a very nice win streak. I don't think I lost a single game tonight, which is good. So I'm going to go ahead and open up... Hey, Jessica. My package. Oh, you got a shirt, I see. Eevees and Boobos.
I've had this shirt. I'm just kidding. I bought it. I hadn't worn it yet.
All right. Well, Choco, it was nice playing with you, man.
Yeah, cheers. Always a pleasure.
All right,
Bye,
guys
stream.
in the stream, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.